Hello everyone! Today I'd like to introduce one of my most favorite Sichuan dish, spicy spare ribs with noodles. This is a household staple dish in Sichuan province. The broth of this dish has a deep, intense, and a complex flavor, making it a perfect companion for noodles. After just 1 hour of slow cooking or 30 minutes in the pressure cooker, the ribs become incredibly tender, easily sliding right off the bone. You may enjoy this dish as they are to pair with either brown rice or white rice, simply enjoying spicy spare ribs, or use them as a sauce for noodles, which is one of very popular street dish in Sichuan province. And for this type of broth, whiter noodles works the best, such as a Chinese-style linguine or fettuccini. This dish is best made with a smaller sized spare ribs, ensuring quicker cooking time and easier bites. We'll begin by soaking the ribs in the water for 30 minutes to remove any residual blood from the meat. After soaking, discard the water and rinse off the ribs thoroughly. Then we'll place the ribs in a large pot to blanch them. Remove any impurities and dirty foams that appeared on the surface of the water while blanching. The objective is to achieve clean, blanched water as much as possible because we will reserve this water for cooking the ribs later to enhancing the flavor of the final dish. This blanching process is about 10 minutes over medium-high heat. Once the ribs have been blanched, discard the scallions and ginger used during the blanching process and remove the ribs from the pot and set them on the side. Also sift through the blanch water to remove any remaining impurities and set clean blanch water aside. This flavorful liquid will be utilized later in the cooking process to enrich the dish. Okay, now let's prepare spices. If you prefer a cleaner broth or later use, pack all the spices into a spice pouch or cheesecloth. Especially when using it as a noodle broth, this way helps that flavors infuse into broth without leaving behind small bits of spices that can be difficult to pick out while enjoying our noodles or ribs. Before start cooking ribs, we'll need to prepare sugar water as well. So let's add 1 tablespoon of any neutral oil and 2 tablespoons of sugar to the pot. Over medium-low heat, continually stir to melt the sugar in the oil. As soon as the sugar starts turning to an amber color, turn off the heat and keep stirring to help cool down the temperature before adding in 1½ cups of warm water. Stir vigorously to ensure thorough mixing of the water and melted sugar. If you notice any sugar sticking together, gently heat the water on low heat while stirring to facilitate the process. With this step, you will have a perfectly blended sugar water that's ready to add a touch of sweetness and glossy rich amber color to ribs. Okay, it's time to infuse the ribs with mouth-watering flavors. Start by adding 2 to 3 tablespoons of neutral oil to the pot, then place the blanched ribs into the pot over medium heat. Let the ribs slowly brown until they develop a delicious crust, which should take about 5 minutes. Then add 2 to 3 tablespoons of bean paste to the center of the pot and quickly stir it around to loosen the paste. And watch as the color turns into a deep, rich red, and mix the ribs thoroughly with the bean paste. Ensure that each rib is coated evenly with a flavorful paste. Just take a look at this beautiful deep red color. And next, it's time to add in the sugar water, which will give the ribs that beautiful glossy red color after cooking. Alternatively, you can also use a dark soy sauce instead. But let me tell you, sugar water definitely gives a much better taste and a beautiful looking amber red color. Following with 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. The ribs is looking gorgeous already. And now we can pour clean blanched water we set on the side earlier, and if needed, add a little more water to completely cover the meat. we want to ensure we have enough broth for the noodles once everything is cooked. However, if you're only pairing the dish with the rice, then having less water is okay. Add a spices pouch in and 2 garlic cloves, 2 white parts of scallions, also 2 tablespoons of a freshly ground white pepper to the pot. Cover with a lid and set the stove to medium heat. Allow the ribs to cook without opening the lid for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, add carrots or potato chunks for optional addition, and you will find ribs become tender enough to eat, but they won't completely slide right off the bone. After add carrots, cover with a lid, continuing cooking for additional 30 minutes. Voila, the ribs is ready. Turn off the heat and let everything rest for an extra few minutes before serving. If you prefer not to add any vegetables with the ribs, simply let the ribs cook for a total of 1 hour on medium heat, achieving a tender and right off the bone texture. And look at this beautiful deep red color thanks to sugar water and bean paste. I'm using Chinese-style linguine for this dish today. To assemble the noodles, simply add desired amount of broth into the bowl, then place the noodles into the broth. Add a desired quantity of ribs and carrots on top of the noodles. Finally, garnish with the minced scallions and cilantro. The smell and looking at this bowl of goodness is making my mouth water already. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Until next time, I will go ahead and dig in. Happy cooking!